Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Chris YouTube channel. Things are getting interesting in the world of crypto and there is something big happening behind the scenes. David Sachs is rallying the Middle East to fully dive into crypto, while World Liberty Financial, a project with deep ties to Trump's family, is making massive moves to reshape the future of decentralized finance. But here is where things are getting a little bit more interesting. While the majority of people are focused on big cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, there are whispers of some emerging altcoins being quietly back in the shadows. So what's going on with these assets? Well, if you want to know which altcoins are making waves, you'll need to stick around until the end of this video. Let's start with some news first. You got David Sachs flying all the way over to the UAE and it couldn't be more clear what's going on. I mean, come on, do you really think he's there to chat about some vague nonsense like AI collaboration? Let's be real, it's crypto. That's the play. What kind of deep AI partnership can the US and UAE realistically build? Sure, they might dabble, do a little here and there, but when it comes to the crypto, there is a massive runway, endless possibilities. These Gulf nations have capital to deploy and crypto is perfect vehicle. Sachs is effectively rallying on entire Middle East to get serious about crypto. Not just dabble, go all in. When you read what he posted, yeah, he throws in AI to keep it balanced, but let's not kid ourselves. It's probably 90% crypto and maybe 10% AI, and even that's generous. The US has lead and AI, that's another level, and it's not even close. But crypto, that's a game everyone can play, and it's becoming the modern day gold. It's a big opportunity. And it doesn't stop there. You got Senator Jim Justice now openly saying President Trump understands how critical Bitcoin is for the future of the country. He's pushing to get the Bitcoin Act signed, which, just to remind you, includes a directive for the US to accumulate 1 million Bitcoin, basically establishing a serious Bitcoin treasury. So when you connect all the dots, it all points out one way, and that's up. Before we continue with the video, there is a new opportunity on Binance where you can earn free tokens. Nillion (NIL) is launching on Binance Launchpool, and from March 21st to March 23rd, 2025, you can farm NIL tokens by locking your BNB, FDUSD or USDC. A total of 35 million NIL tokens will be available for farming, with the project having a total supply of 1 billion tokens. On March 24th, NIL will list up on Binance with trading pairs such as NIL USDT, NIL BNB, and NIL USDC. Nillion is a permissionless decentralized network that uses advanced piracy technologies like multi-party computation, MPC, homomorphic encryption, and zero-knowledge proofs to secure, store, and process data. This makes it ideal for Web3 applications and AI that require private data. With 50+ projects already building on Nillion, this is a chance to get in early and earn free tokens. If you don't already have a Binance account, you can register through the link in my video description, where you will get lifetime 10% discount on Binance trading fees. As always, make sure to do your own research before jumping in. Also, I talked about recent Federal Reserve meeting in my last video, but let's talk about it a little bit more. First off, the Fed officials made it clear. They're still projecting 2 more rate cuts in 2025 and another 2 coming in 2026. So in other words, they're easing up. Cheaper capital is on the way. And when borrowing gets cheaper, naturally economic activity picks up. That's one of the key reasons why we saw Bitcoin get a nice little pump right after. But that's not all. The second major takeaway is something even more interesting starting in April. The Fed is planning to slow down the pace of quantitative tightening. Specifically, they'll reduce the monthly cap on Treasury security redemptions from 25 billion to just 5 billion. And that's a huge shift. They're basically taking their foot off the brake, easing liquidity pressure while still moving towards lower rates. Markets love this combo, lower rates plus slowing QT. But to be fair, while this sparked the last rally, there is still a decent chance we'll see another correction before things really take off. A lot of people are still hesitant and not fully buying into the pump just yet. Either way, they're just undeniably bullish signals long term. And you have probably heard of Josh. He's the guy who pretty much nailed the entire Bitcoin move, predicting the run from $15,000 all the way up to $84,000. If you already haven't, you can watch my previous video where I talked it in detail about it. He didn't just call it, he acted on it, ended up making a 10x return on his capital. By the time the rally cooled off, his portfolio was sitting at around 23 million. So it's pretty wild. And guess what? He's not done. He's back in the game, this time going heavy on MicroStrategy stock. If you check his numbers, everything deep is in green again. He's already taking he's already another cool million since jumping back in, and clearly he is still incredibly bullish and looking far ahead. According to him, Bitcoin isn't stopping anytime soon. He's eyeing $400,000, $44,000 in the next big target. And always interesting to watch something with a track record like that staying so confident. And here is some real alpha for you guys. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial, yeah, the one essentially owned by Trump's own family, just wrapped up a massive token sale, and we are talking about 555 million raised, with over 85,000 participants jumping in. But here's where it gets interesting. Check out this statement from Zach Witkoff, their co-founder. He said WLFI is on track to supercharge DeFi as it transforms global finance in the coming years. And let that sink in for a second. They're not just playing around, they're positioning themselves to reshape the entire financial landscape. If you ask me, the endgame here seems pretty clear. World Liberty Financial wants to become the central bank of crypto. And think about it. Trump was president and his family runs this project, and now they're stacking serious capital. The people steering World Liberty Financial, they're set to become the next wave of global oligarchs. And Zach Witkoff, remember that name, not just a co-founder, but a key figure in this entire play. And now, if you have been paying attention lately, the name Witkoff might pop up in your radar. Specifically, Steve Witkoff, and he's not just a name, he's a billionaire real estate mogul, but more importantly, he is also a key diplomat right now. And here is where it gets really interesting. At this very moment, Steve Witkoff is probably one of the most influential people on the planet. Why? Because he's leading negotiations with none other than Vladimir Putin to try to broker peace in Ukraine. In fact, just last week, he became the first American diplomat to sit down with Putin face to face. And reports are saying he's already made a significant progress. Both Putin and Zelensky have reportedly agreed to ceasefires regarding critical energy infrastructure. And that's huge. And here's the kicker. Steve's son, Zach Witkoff, is none other than co-founder of World Liberty Financial. So when you connect the dots, you start to see how much power and influence is converging around this project. And here is what I've been noticing, and maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead, but honestly, this feels like the direction things are headed. Everyone keeps talking about some kind of financial system reset, right? So you hear it everywhere. And it's going to be backed by gold, it's going to be Bitcoin backed, or whatever flavor of the month theory is trending. But what I'm starting to see is something slightly different. Call it wild speculation if you want, but it genuinely feels like Donald Trump is positioning himself to become the key figure in the next global financial structure. I mean, Emperor of the World might sound over the top, but when you look at everything happening with World Liberty Financial, this could very well be one of the biggest financial plays of the decade. And here's where it gets spicy. World Liberty Financial has quietly rolled out a macro digital asset strategic reserve program. What that means is they're already stacking up digital assets behind the scenes, building a reserve almost like their own treasury. Bitcoin, of course, that's in there. Ethereum, yup, they're launching Ethereum, so it's on it. And that's not all. We have also like a Tron network, TRX, we have Chainlink, Sui, and even Ondo have all been added to their strategic reserves. So here's the alpha. If World Liberty Financial is accumulating these assets and Trump influence is backing the entire machine, do you really think those tokens won't pump when they flip the switch? We have already seen what happens. Remember how Trump meme tokens exploded? Same thing with Melania's meme tokens. Those pumped purely off just because of the hype and association with the Trump family. And now, imagine what happens with World Liberty Financial starts pushing their platform, and by extension, these assets. It's not hard to connect the dots. They're aligning themselves with networks like Tron, Sui, Chainlink, Ondo, and if you hold those, you're effectively positioning yourself alongside the emerging financial elite, whether we like it or not. Is it ironic that crypto is slowly becoming more centralized in the hands of these powerful players? Maybe. But that doesn't mean there isn't a massive window of opportunity here. Not a financial advice, obviously, just my 2 cents on here where I think the next big wave is coming from. As we have seen today, the crypto landscape is shifting in ways many aren't fully aware of. World Liberty Financial behind-the-scenes moves are setting the stage for something major. Whether it's the big players or the hidden altcoins, the potential for huge gains is there. I think that you should keep an eye on these developments and don't be surprised if the next wave of crypto comes from unexpected places. If you found this video useful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and also turn on notification bell in order not to miss on future videos. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.